Hello y'all, this is The First Emperor, a mod for Hearthstone 4 that is set in an alternate history where the first emperor of China comes back to life in 1936. Or maybe he never died in the first place and was just hiding somewhere. To get this show on the road, we are going to play as the country of China, led by Chiang Kai-shek, at least for now. On day 1 of our playthrough, we get an event titled The Rise of the Terracotta Army. It presents us with two choices. Let's click on the one on the bottom that says Long Live Qin Shi Huang. Our country has been swapped to the Qing and we are at war with China. Qin Shi Huang is leading this ancient nation and he has a very powerful national spirit named for the emperor. Qin Shi Huang historically lived from 259 BC to 210 BC. He was the first emperor of a unified China and a member of the Qin Dynasty. Events of his reign include the official establishment of the Great Wall of China and the purported banning and burning of books and the live burial of Confucian scholars. He adhered to an ideology referred to as legalism, which is sort of like Chinese realpolitik. Besides that, when he was older, he desperately sought the elixir of life, which would allow him to become immortal. Moving on to the army, we have quite a few terracotta divisions, and they are all 20 combat width, which isn't bad at all. I should note Qin Shi Huang in real life was buried with a terracotta army in a mausoleum that wasn't rediscovered until the mid to late 20th century. So with all that said, picture in your mind a bunch of clay soldiers following whatever task their skeleton master wants them to do, which in this case means going to war. A lot. Beginning the focus tree now, let's complete Bring Me My Robe. We're going to start pushing out of Xi'an now. We may be outnumbered, but our national spirit buff makes each of our divisions very tough to fight. Sichuan has been secured and we are battling our way towards the east, taking over one province at a time as we go along. Bring Me My Robe is done, and what that does is give Qin Shi Huang the swagger of an undead Chinese emperor. But to be fair, not like there's much competition there anyway. In the focus tree, let's do Reclaim the Rightful Land of the Qin Dynasty and Dismantle the Kuomintang. Henan has fallen to our advance and we trapped some enemy units. Our terracotta warriors are getting ever so closer to Nanjing. We have gotten to a point where we have plenty of manpower but not any military factories. That's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. Forget what I said because we just secured 3 military factories. Soon the terracotta army is going to be using bolt action rifles. Nationalist China officially ends at Guizhou in the south in terms of landmass and borders. We're going to try to take the rest of Zuni and Guizhou in order to cut Kai-shek's country in half. 2 groups of enemy divisions have been effectively isolated from their comrades, and besides that, our units continue to approach Nanjing. In the focus tree, we're going to do who they call communist once this conflict is over. A good portion of the Chinese troops have been destroyed, so I think it would be safe for us to start an all-out offensive to take the enemy capital now. China declared war on communist China. Well, okay, they have nothing to lose, I suppose. Walking into Nanjing with an army of clay people. Something very normal happening here indeed. Just your average war. Nanjing wasn't enough apparently, so we gotta send someone up to take Beijing and Tianjin, which shouldn't be too difficult. Chiang Kai-shek is out of the picture, and with the Qin Dynasty firmly established for the second time in history, we can now start to focus. That will give us a war goal on communist China. We are ready for war. Let's get this party started. Focuses. Let's complete Purge Them All. Conquer all of what is now China, and when we aren't busy, conquer the south. The strategy for the Qin Communist China conflict is to just slam our divisions into the enemy front lines constantly and hope they will break through. The communists are making their last stand, so we are going to start looking below our lands for more expansion targets in the form of Yunnan and the Guangxi clique. Conquer the south is finished. We might as well use this as an opportunity to declare war on 2 countries at once. to take out two birds with one stone. Now for a focus that doesn't involve the other Chinese states. That's right, let's kick out the Europeans. The bulk of our troops have been sent to Yunnan. This has resulted in us only having 3 divisions to hold back the Guangxi clique. And to be honest, they're doing a pretty good job. The focus centered around the Europeans is over. They kind of just gave us all of their colonial holdings in China. Qin Shi Huang is a powerful man, evidently. We're almost finished with the Guangxi. Let's go ahead and start conquer the west. We're setting up for our expansion west now, and that is going to include an invasion of Saibei-Sanma, Shanxi, and Xinjiang. Saibei-Sanma and Shanxi get annexed all fine and dandy, but Xinjiang joined the Comintern, and thus we are going to have to fight the USSR and Mongolia. To face the might of the USSR, we are going to have to make an alliance with a country led by a fellow book-burning enthusiast. The Qin Dynasty joined the Axis. Japan is going to send us, aka China, volunteers to help battle the Soviets. And on top of all that, the German Reich wants to take part in the war. We'll need to keep a close eye on Mongolia, but our main objective at the moment is to take out Xinjiang. Defeating them would give us a gateway into Central Asia. Over in Europe, our German allies have gotten themselves into a conflict with Czechoslovakia, Romania, and fascist France. Bulgaria wants to help us, we will decline. As for the war, we are slowly capturing enemy territory. Italy joined the Axis, and Germany is struggling to hold back Czechoslovakia, who has seen a massive influx of Soviet reinforcements. Xinjiang has capitulated, and I am just now asking myself, did Romania move their entire army to Asia? Looking over at Europe again, Italy is going into France, but on the other hand, the Soviets are gaining ground in Germany. The fascist British Empire wants to send us volunteers. How generous of them. I think Italy and the German Reich are trying to invade Yugoslavia now. Good luck with that. The plot thickens. The Italians left the Axis and joined the Allies, but they are still fighting fascist France, who has created a Latin Entente with Hungary. Would anyone notice if the Qin Dynasty took French Indochina and annexed Tibet while still at war with the Soviet Union? Our allies haven't even beaten Czechoslovakia yet, and now they're fighting Poland and Lithuania. We're winning the war. The Axis has lost 1.25 million soldiers so far, and the Comintern has lost 4.59 million. The Qin Dynasty captured Stalingrad and Moscow. Leningrad is next. We have triumphed over the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. All we wanted was China, but we're going to get Eurasia instead. The Qin Dynasty had so much war score that besides eating up the USSR, China now controls the East Indies, the Congo, and a piece of Europe. We have one more focus, and it is crush the Japanese Empire. Japan has a foothold in mainland Asia in the form of a couple puppet states located in traditionally Chinese areas, so it's no surprise why this focus is here really. They beat us to the punch. Japan got the first strike on us before all of our divisions had reached the border. Our counter-offensive into Manchukuo is in progress, and to the south in the Qin East Indies, the Japanese are having a field day. We don't have much of a navy to help out down there, so Indonesia, you're on your own. Northern China and Manchuria is almost secured, but beyond that, our enemy controls Vietnam, and they are throwing naval invasions at us all the time. We are in the position now to send our troops into the home islands of Japan, and how we're going to do that is build some license-built destroyers we got from the German Reich, and tons of naval bombers to achieve naval superiority. The Chinese are in Japan. We don't control a port currently, but with our opponent busy in other parts of the continent, it shouldn't be too hard for us to find one. There is surprisingly less resistance in the home islands than expected. I guess we can thank the front in Southeast Asia for that. Japan falls by the wayside, and with all that conquest over with, the Qin Dynasty and Qin Shi Huang once again has the mandate of heaven, the right to rule China, most likely for the rest of eternity too, because he's immortal this time. In this new era of Chinese history, there are no communists or nationalists. There is only the emperor. This video is done. If you enjoyed the mod, check it out in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment, because it helps the algorithm recommend the video more. Have an awesome day. I'll see y'all later. Bye.